This is the K-pop cast, and in this episode, we talk about Jungkook's golden debut, Taemin's not guilty pleasure comeback, Stacey joins the Glasgow Rangers, Hybe makes K-pop less petty, and GD's alleged drug scandal. Yeah, alleged because they're not going to get him on anything, right?
Yes.
And this week, we are welcoming back a longtime guest. It's Todd. Hello.
Hey, it's me, Todd, returning champ. My hand is still glowing from forming hand hearts with Stacey at their live show and getting Isa to give me a side eye and go, woo, when I said hello.
Love it. And you know, if we're going to be talking about Jungkook and anything BTS related, we had to bring on the Mandarin Mom, Virginia. Hi.
Hello. But before we get into those topics, don't forget to join the K-pop cast listener fam on Slack. Link to the space in the episode description.
And now for hit replays.
Hi, I'm Virginia.
I'm Todd.
And I'm your PDN Michaela, and hit replays are what we call K-pop songs you guys should totally check out each week. So Virginia, kick us off. What is your hit replay for this week?
All right. My hit replay for the week is Epic High Screen Time featuring Hoshi of 17. It's a classic Epic High sound of chill hop, mellow and rainy day vibe with Hoshi's gorgeously melancholy voice on the hook. The song discusses loneliness after a breakup, or maybe like a parasocial relationship with a celebrity or somebody, and being separated by a screen and wanting to get back together. So Epic High is a South Korean alternative hip-hop trio composed of Tableau, Mithra Jin, and DJ Two Cuts. They recently celebrated their 20th anniversary, and they started off at YG, but are now independent. And the reason why I like the song is it is an instant classic. It's super familiar. It's a comforting sound, but the subject is a very current issue. So it's like a very, very classic Epic High sound. It's, like really chill lyrics, chill rap verses, and then like super melancholy, sad hook with a very clear voice. And so, I love it. And Hoshi sounds amazing. And I think Mithra Jin has more verses than normal, which pleases me greatly because he is.
This is one for the Mithra stands.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I was so surprised when I heard this for the first time because when it was announced that Hoshi was going to be on the song, I don't know, but for some reason I expected it to be this like super fun and like bombastic, like even almost bright sounding version of Epic High.
Oh, like Fly?
Yeah, like Fly, because Hoshi, especially in 17, has that kind of persona. Like he's just like one of those super like energetic, bright kind of guys. So it was really interesting to hear again the more mellow, introspective version of him that you don't necessarily get if you're just listening to his stuff in 17. Which, now that I think about it, if I think about his solo debut Spider, which was a little bit more of that, like, I don't know, I guess not super mellow, but definitely more dark and introspective, like that, it makes up more sense why they would pick him for this song.
What's the song about, do you think? I mean, it's about doom scrolling, obviously, from the screen time. And I think Tableau does reference, falling asleep and until the world, scrolling until the world falls asleep. I think we can all relate to that given the current circumstances in the world. Anybody else have any theories?
That sounds about right, really.
Yeah. Or part of me thinks it's like, at first, when I first heard it, I thought it's when you, not that this has ever happened to me because I am still married. I've been married like half my life to the same person. So there was no need for this. But from what I have heard, if you break up with someone, you can still like stalk them on their socials if they haven't blocked you or if they blocked you.
Yeah.
So I thought it was about that. Like, they're still hung up on a person. They're wanting to see like what they're doing and like, but they're not really involved in their life anymore. And they see him. I feel like these are more Tableau's verses, but like,
Yeah.
but you see them
like
moving on, and then like, and you're not involved anymore, and you kind of want them to be happy, but you also do not want them to be happy. So I feel like that's what I initially thought the song was about. But so
I can accept that as someone else who's also been married for over 25 years and, you know, in a loving, caring relationship as well. So I wouldn't know anything about this disconnect that you're speaking of that may be related to the song. I will say that you're speaking about Mithra Jin, and yeah, you know, I think he's a very underrated rapper. He definitely has this rough, you know, unique flow, and you see him in the concert. He definitely throws down like he's been in a cypher. He knows, you know, what he's doing in Tableau, sort of like the lighter element, but also brings the melodic sensibility and also the vulnerability, I guess, because of all he's been through. So
Yeah.
overall, you know, 20 years on that, or do you say 20th anniversary? Yeah, 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
It's definitely a great song and fits in their catalog. Like it just hits what they do, shows what they do.
yeah, I had it on repeat all weekend at my writing retreat. I did not stream Golden, but that's a spoiler for later.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm a bad fan.
But Todd, moving on, what is your hit replay for this week?
Now, I chose Perfect Night by Le Seraphim. And I always get the name wrong because there's two S's in the beginning.
Right.
And I usually have it one S and two R's. But, you know, K-pop logic, it's going to flip it somehow. But yes, the song is, to me, it brought up this question where, is it possible to release a summer hit in the fall?
I got all I need, you know nothing else can be the way that I feel when I'm dancing with my guys. Perfect energy, yeah, we flawless, yeah, we free. There's no better feeling in the whole wide world. Tonight, I don't care what's wrong or right. Don't stop blowing up my light. I can't read 11:59, but nothing comes after midnight.
For me, it's like, because this is like a perfect top-down song about rolling with your besties on a nice, cool night. It's in English too, so the entry point is way wider. Not that that's been any problem with K-pop. And Perfect Night's been featured in a shooter game, Overwatch 2. Now, I've got problems, you know, with, I think K-pop hasn't addressed problems with guns and gun imagery and shooting, but you know, there's always this weird incongruity of like, oh, this really nice K-pop song, oh, it's going to be used in a shooter game. Well, now I have not played Overwatch 2, so I could, you know, be overstepping my boundaries here, but hey, if you're going to tap into gamers, not a bad strategy. They've got disposable income, obviously, to throw down on chairs and gaming utensils. So, hey, you know, get paid. Now, Le Seraphim is a 5-member girl group on Source Entertainment, which includes members of both Produce 48 and Eyes One. And I went to Korea over the summer, kind of like how Steph did. You know, I did like about 10 days there, and they were everywhere, inescapable. Along with New Jeans, I think Le Seraphim were like, you know, on billboards, on the side of trains, in train stations. And all the songs, Fearless, Anti-Fragile, Eve Psych, and Bluebeard's Wife, they were playing wherever you went.
Okay, so you
I
can't
feel
walk
like-
on a street and not hear their song.
No, just like every shop's like playing some sort of like rotation that includes Le Seraphim. So to me, Perfect Night is like the nice addition to the 1, 2, 3, the trio that is Fearless, Anti-Fragile, and Eve Psych and Bluebeard's Wife. Y'all feeling it? I did also put in my notes that it has sort of 50-50 vibes.
It did
Yeah.
remind me of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was gonna say. It was like that. It feels 50-50, but again, that just adds to that like summer bop in fall. Which
Wait, Super Shy is not 50-50 though, right? Or it is?
no, that's New Jeans. Oh no.
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
I'm hiding.
Listen.
This is not Todd. That is not Virginia. We are not the K-pop cast.
No, I don't care if girl group stands come after me. Come after me. What you gonna do to me? You children. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Sort of kidding. No, I'm really bad with identifying girl groups because they are not my natural inclination to like things.
Oh boy, then you're gonna love Michaela's hit replay.
No, I liked it. I liked
Michaela,
it.
what was your hit replay?
we're just gonna move on, Todd. We're not gonna.
Is this to protect
That
me?
was called a segue.
Got it. Yes. So my hit replay for this week, guys, is Primrose Laffy Taffy.
Crazy out there and love be love 갖고 싶어 give me some 자꾸 널 부르고 있잖아 You gotta stick around I'll be left it up be wow Left it up be 알아 what you like I'ma take over your world 알고 싶을 걸 new world 자꾸 생각날 걸 러비더비 가져가면 stick a like on Left it up be
So I hinted on the last episode about my K-pop snack bar playlist, and this has been like the top of that playlist for the last like almost 2 weeks, to be honest. But I realized I haven't actually like talked about Primrose on the show before. So for those that don't know, they're currently a 4-member girl group under AO Entertainment. They actually debuted as a duo this year, back in January, with members Yeom and Ruby. But Yeom left for undisclosed health reasons. And then for this comeback specifically, that actually came out in August, they added 3 new members. Rainy, who was originally from Bugaboo, Nahyun, who was originally from Hadishu, and then Hayeon. So 4 members. And again, it's the cute, sparkly, pink, bubblegum, poppy K-pop that I love. Like, and as you know, the season gets colder, and as we move into the darker mood of K-pop, it was just like this beautiful, bright thing that just like came back onto my playlist and just made me happy. So like, you know, it had to be my hit replay for this week.
I liked it. So I don't know what's happening to me, but I liked it.
Right? I remember when I first heard this back in August, like it was pretty catchy, but it wasn't necessarily like, it didn't stand out originally. But so it was so interesting for me to like, again, you know, suddenly to go back to that playlist and listen to it again and just like have it on repeat. So it's definitely one of those like sneaky grower K-pop songs that, you know, come out every year.
Yeah, it gives me like early weekly vibes. It kind of like,
yeah.
also like Stacy as well, who we're going to get into because I got to go see them. Yeah, as the 3rd time, but you know, this one was like a full on thing. But yeah, Primrose, I was telling these before that I liked them before I saw them. You know, right when the screen came up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like this. And then, sure enough, just from the vibes and the song itself, it definitely hits and just hits that, like you said, sweet spot of girl group goodness.
And it's again, if you look at their debut back in January, this is definitely like one of those rebrands and like 180 concept, because their original concept as a duo was like snow and chandeliers and glam and like dark outfits. And so going from watching that originally in January to watching this, which is like high school, bubblegum, yeah, like love. It's such a contrast from like the earlier stuff, but again, still maintaining that like quality of music. Like their first song was good, and like they have like really good quality vocalists in this group. Obviously, it's like one of those Avenger kind of groups where they're bringing girls from previous groups that didn't do so well. So they come into it with experience, which is like, even though they're a new goo, they still have that, you know, more mature sound, or at least a sound comparable to other girl groups that have been out for a while. All right. So check out Primrose's Laffy Taffy, guys. And so we're going to move on to our hot issues or Hallyu things of the week. Yeah.
I know
So
that we mentioned hot issue earlier about Nayeon was in hot issue.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's called a segue, kids.
And for the love of God, that I don't believe in, please stop spelling Segway Segway. That is a product that mall cops use instead of walking. A Segway, as Todd has amply given us examples of, is Segue. Thank you. PSA over.
Virginia's grammar corner.
Love
That's
it.
going to be a new feature.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I just see it too many times on fanfic, and I want to kill myself.
It's like sneak peek with peek spelled P-E-A-K. Now that one just is everywhere. It's P-E-E-K, y'all. Come on, get it right.
Now get off our lawn.
Standing next to you, standing in the fire next to you. Oh, you know it's deeper than the rain, it's deeper than the pain. When it's deep like DNA, someday can take away. Hey, take a figure off.
So Todd, kick off this segment. So you wanted to talk about Stacy, right?
Oh my gosh, this segue is perfect because we're talking about gaffes and you know, self-imposed falling on your sword. So Stacy went on tour in the United States, and in each town they've been wearing the jerseys of, maybe you've seen it, the Chicago Bulls, or they played San Francisco. They wore San Francisco Giants and Golden State Warriors gear. When they went to Texas, I think it was Dallas, they wore Cowboys jerseys and Rangers jerseys, but they got the Rangers from Scotland, Glasgow. So they're soccer jerseys, and they wore them, and you know they're doing their set, and they're just half of them have Cowboys jerseys, and the other one have
A random
Glasgow
Scot-
Rangers soccer team jerseys. And so, you know, New York Times picked this up. A bunch of other spots picked it up, like, oh, how silly. And so it brought up the topic, of course, very active in the K-pop cast Slack, join the conversation, that these K-pop groups would probably avoid these things if they got a stateside consultant, somebody to walk them through cultural nuances. And not only are you wasting time and resources and, you know, possibly offending a large section of people, you would avoid, it would just be a lot smoother. So let's be real about that. But at the same time, if they didn't do this, would they get in the New York Times? I don't think so.
Right.
So, you know, all press is good press. And this continued because Glasgow Rangers heard about this, of course, and suddenly they invited them because they're doing a big K-pop show in London. Shout out to all the people our friends over there that get to see the Wembley show. And they were invited.
Wait, they're at Wembley?
I believe so. They're at some huge ass.
Isn't Wembley humongous though?
Oh, there's an arena and a stadium, so there could be like.
Okay. I was going to say, geez.
You can fact check me on this, but you know, obviously I'm wrong. I'll be showing the door.
It's okay. I don't know anything.
So Glasgow Rangers invited them up, and they took a bunch of cute pictures. They did a bit of the bubble dance with their mascot, and what a turnaround! They just suddenly got a whole bunch of Glasgow Rangers fans to show up to their meet and greet, and now they have a favorite K-pop group.
Do you think it was actually a gaffe, or do you think it was like very clever?
100%. I mean,
It
this
has
is
to
a
be.
staple of K-pop, of a concept. They're trying to do it like a sports kind of concept and have it just be like this crazy amalgamation or bastardization of whatever sport they're trying to talk about.
I mean,
Like-
Stacy are not immune to these gaffes.
Yeah.
The one I think about the most is they performed at an award show, and they are doing this sort of dance break, and they're trying to be all tough. There's like a chain link fence, and there's these signs that say, do not enter, and there's that one that says do not enter says fart zone. Do not enter fart zone. I screenshot it so many times.
Oh no.
I mean, it's like somebody went to the dollar store, obviously, and tried to like, we need some signs to make them look tough. Okay, how about this one?
God.
Yeah, it says do not enter. Sounds good. They didn't bother to read that it said fart zone on it.
That's
But every time I
amazing.
see that, it's beautiful. I think we'll put that in the we'll link to it. Please watch it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But it's giving me life.
Yeah. Hey. And now they have again new fans who have who've learned about them.
Yeah, the only problem is that Glasgow is famously split down the middle between Rangers and Celtic.
Oh no.
So
okay.
Celtic fans probably hate their guts.
Oh no.
And in fact, a friend of mine, I was kind of like reposting their pictures, and my friend's like, "Man, I'm a Celtic fan. Fuck Stacy." I'm like, "Ooh, they can go to hell." But
But K-pop stands are out of control,
Right. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Okay.
Sport fans and K-pop fans, man.
right?
yeah, it's a very tenuous relationship there between football fandom and K-pop fandom.
So, Virginia, kick us off with our next topic. So,
Oh, yes, sorry.
Of a very, very important album was recently released, right? In the English language pop genre, right?
Yes. So everyone's favorite basic baby girl, Jungkook. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. Released Golden. And it was highly anticipated and broke a bajillion records or something. And it is a very now album. And like the two lead singles were Seven, which I loved, 3D, which made me angry, but without Jack Harlow's verse, I loved because it's Justin Timberlake. And then, and then the title track was Standing Next to You, which was really, really good
Yeah.
and sampled Regulators or Regulate Warren G.
Oh, okay.
I think it sampled it. I hope it sampled it because otherwise there's going to be a lawsuit.
I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, it's totally in there.
Regulate.
Like every one of my friends was like, "What is that hip hop song that they're referencing?" So yeah,
But that's you mean the Michael McDonald a sample, or is it something else?
it's the dun dun da 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 dun. That it's like
Okay, yeah.
yeah. It's
I can't forget.
So it's really obvious. And then the rest of the album it's okay. it's exactly what we would expect from someone who loves Justin Bieber so much. So there you go. That's all I have to say about it. I think
Michaela, what do you say, Michaela?
Okay. Standing Next to You is a great song. I enjoyed it. I'm so happy that it was like the major title track because it really is the best song on the album. Like it's the most, I think, experimental and interesting sound coming out of like a BTS solo that I've heard. Like it was a little bit surprising to see him to try it, but he like pulls it off really well. But again, looking at the whole album as a whole, like to be honest, I don't really have any other replays from the album except for that. Like they're not really any like major standouts.
Oh,
Yeah, like for
you didn't like Hate You?
Okay, for me, Hate You, I feel like there's an emotional disconnect because like on its own, yes, it's a great song, but like for me, his performance doesn't give enough like emotional connection to the song for me. Like I like his and that's kind of like my general, I think, consensus about the album is like, again, his performance is great, his pronunciation is great, like his English is flawless, but like I almost feel like there's almost like an emotional disconnect from like the song in the performance that I'm just not getting from like comparative to like other Korean artists that I know have done songs in English that like make me cry. Like yeah, like for specifically for Hate You, like I think about Golden, aka G Soul's Hate Everything. Like that's one of those songs that like make me cry. But for me, like I don't know. That's kind of like my general take on the whole album. But like it as a solo pop dance dude in the West album, it's solid. Like, from that objective standpoint, it's like a very solid album.
Oh boy.
Okay, Todd.
I think, let's start with Hate You for a second. I think it would probably be better if it was on an OST somewhere. And that you wouldn't have to hear the whole thing. Like you just see the like 20 seconds. He looks at the door, and the thing turns to gauzy white. The subway ad goes posted up, and
I see your vision.
Because the lyrics are so trite. I'm gonna hate you, or what is it? I'm gonna blame you. Hating you is the only way it doesn't hurt.
It's so bad. I love it.
Oh, so that's that. Yes or no? I mean, if I wanted to listen to frickin' Ed Sheeran or Maroon 5, go listen to Maroon 5 and Ed Sheeran. Why do we need Jungkook trying to channel these folks? JT, fine, do your thing, but but for real, what he should do is have, instead of having the Major Lazer, the Ed Sheeran, the multiple people, DJ Snake, have one person like curate like a mixtape for him, like Pharrell. If he did just an entire like 5-song remix of this album with Pharrell, imagine what that would sound like. I'm also thinking like when MIA came out, think what you want of Diplo, but there was a moment where Diplo took all those master recordings from a ruler and remixed them and put out a mixtape called Piracy Funds Terrorism. Go look it up on YouTube. It's awesome. He samples Brazilian funk. He samples Salt and Pepper. It's just all over the place. And to hear MIA kind of like retransmitted through this lens of a DJ who at the time wasn't as half annoying as he is now and overexposed, I think it would do things for Jungkook that this album tried to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, I like Seven, and I like Lotto. Her verse on it is authentic. She's not like half stepping it. One thing that the New York Times podcast, John Caramonica and mentioned and Joe Coscarelli mentioned was that the Jack Harlow song kind of you get 50% of what Jungkook's good at and 50% of what Jack Harlow's good at. To me, and then still like, that doesn't make a whole song. It's just like you're getting half of what they're good at.
Got it.
It's like a meh Jungkook and a meh Jack Harlow kind of meeting in the middle. And you just get this, like, the metaphor of a staircase that goes nowhere. It's like, where's this going? Nowhere. So there's a lot of skips on this record. And if you stand Jungkook, more power to you. look for the next one, man. See what's keep it moving.
I will say though that as basic and boring as this album is, except for like a few, I feel like it does exactly what he wanted it to do though.
Yeah.
Right? Like what he wanted was to make a global pop star sound. Very current. And Jungkook is actually very, very good at identifying what is hot now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he visionary? Like my friend said, Missy Elliott is, who created a whole future sound.
Right.
Her with Timbaland, no. Right? But he's very good at identifying a hot sound now, I think. And then he loves Justin Bieber, right? It's very obvious he worked with everyone Justin Bieber worked with, right? Like this is just, so I feel like in that sense, it's radio friendly. He wants to be a global pop star. He wants the sound. He was burnt out. He was tired. He curated these things. I think other than the 2 leading singles, I think he recorded the rest of it in a week, so I think that's the frustrating thing. People, for me anyway, like he's so good, so talented, and then this is what he made. And you're like, all right, well, that's what he wanted. There he is.
But then to your point though, Virginia, and then also like from what Todd mentioned about like having one producer kind of come in and make something a little bit more cohesive. Like I think about Justin Bieber's debut, and it was Usher who was behind him and like doing his artist, management and kind of like bringing him up as a from like discovering him to like his debut. So I feel like if he was really trying to kind of recreate that, then what Todd mentioned is kind of something that he probably should have focused on, was like finding that one producer, that one like star maker to kind of come in and then.
But he did. I think Scooter Braun is the guy behind all of this.
Okay.
Right? So that was his person.
Okay, then he picked the wrong person.
Well, I mean, Hype America, yay!
Yeah, just like thinking about like as a Western English solo pop dance guy, like if you're looking at Justin Bieber's career, like he kind of came out in like a vacuum of like there wasn't necessarily anybody doing the solo pop dance, like specifically pop, not like, again, like looking at the many like R&B artists who were out at that time. But like his rise kind of like came out of like a vacuum of like the lack of artists like that. And I feel like with Jungkook, if he's really is, again, trying to be that crossover solo pop dance guy, then I don't know.
He's cute though.
Yeah. He's so cute.
He's so adorable.
Cute to a fault, I'll be honest, in some of these visuals. Because like I know he's like trying to be like cool and sexy, but I'm like, dude, your cheeks, like, come on.
But his tattoos,
like, you could put tattoos on a bunny's still gonna be cute.
That is true.
Okay, so moving from one solo pop guy to another solo pop guy, we're gonna kick off our Daebak or Not hot issue segment with Taemin's latest comeback, Guilty.
Yes.
Yeah, so are we Daebak or not on Taemin's Guilty, guys?
100% Daebak.
100%. 100%.
It's so good.
It's so much better than the shiny comeback. Sorry, not sorry. Taemin stuff blows them out of the
100%,
water.
yes. That's true.
Well, and then their last comeback hard was like a very Like it's a very, very kind of like specific shiny sound. It was like it was more of a throwback, if anything. So it wasn't necessarily like for everybody. It was more just something that they wanted to do.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But again, yeah, of course, Taemin guilty, Daebak. Like when the teasers or the trailers dropped, I know we were just like lighting up the Slack chat with our theories and things, and so finally get to see it and like see the full music video and specifically again the full performance. Like I was mentioning in another chat, like when the point choreography is like him like reaching under his shirt and then like grabbing his neck, and like again we've seen people like lift their shirts up and like do similar things, but there was just something about the way Taemin does it that just like unlocked a part of my brain I didn't know existed. Like
the feral part is the part
I
you're
guess
referring
that's what
to.
you would call it.
It's all that military body work.
Well, he had that before though.
His hair is popping too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then again, it's one of those, because the one of the bigger themes of like is like kind of going back to throwbacks of like other things. So like some of his hair is like a throwback to his like debut hairstyle, and then there are like other little Easter eggs throughout the music video that are kind of like, if you're a Shawwal, you know. So
wait, so I know he was on Suchita with Suga and Jimin, where Suga shot his shot on Main, and Jimin was like, "Nah, I'm just not gonna have it, dude."
Right.
But what did he said this? He's heard this song when it came out with not what was it? Not what was his previous comeback before this? Was it? It wasn't Move. It was something. It came out at this, like he heard it at the same time, so he had to like update the sound.
Like I remember what he looked like, but I can't remember the song.
Because Todd has
Advice.
to go at 6,
It was
right?
Advice.
Yes, Advice. Okay.
Gosh.
I think he will.
I had to replay the whole song in my head. Advice, yes. He picked it, and this is a great pickup from Advice. Like
Yes.
he talked about like he treats kind of like each comeback as like its own like little movie, and he tries to separate the characters, but again they fit into like the Taemin cinematic universe so beautifully.
And he was also talking about how like he really likes that genderless type of thing, and he's really good at it. And he tried to give, for this comeback, he tried to give a little bit of what everyone wanted and missed, and then but also a little bit something new.
Yeah, love it. Taemin, Daebak. I mean, Taemin is always Daebak, but we just had to ask.
Or we had to boo you.
So moving on to our next Daebak or not, we've got a solo girly, the girly Miss Hyuna has come back with her very very quick short pre-release song Attitude. So how are we on this one? Are we Daebak or not?
It was. I don't know how I feel about it. I like the video. How's that?
Oh yeah, the visuals. I feel like it's been forever, and it has been a while since she's like come out with like solo stuff, because she's like been in between contracts with P Nation. Now she's at Arena, which is Groovy Room's label, which has Gemini, Mirani, Blase, and her ex Dawn.
I know. I like Gemini a lot.
Dawn is also at Arena. So
Dawn
like
just keeps trying to shoot his shot.
It's not helping my Delulu wish they would get back together fan fantasy.
Just let them go on a break.
Yeah, but for again, a new release under a new label, this is Daebak for me.
Oh, okay, that's true. It reminds me of Vogue.
Oh, 100%. Like yes.
I'm Daebak as well, and I'm just judging it 100% on the video, which is she looks amazing. And if you told me it wasn't Hyuna and it was somebody new, I would have been fooled, because she looks like she just came right out the wrapper.
Yeah, she's doing her vocal chameleon thing, where like most people are used to like the super like nasally high pitched rapper esque Hyuna vocal, but this one is a little bit more in her lower register that she likes to like throw out every now and again to remind people that she's a singer. Yeah. So we're all Daebak on this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So our next song, which again, this is just more of like a personal pick. Are we Daebak or not? Or Moon Jung-up's recent comeback XOX? If you're in the Slack, you know I'm already Daebak on this, so there's no question about what my answer is.
I don't know how I feel about it, actually.
No, okay, it's okay. You don't have to like all the things that look.
I don't dislike it. You know what I mean? But I don't remember it already, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And I was really distracted, I think.
Fair. There's
So
a lot of visuals to be distracted by.
So I think I was more distracted by like, oh, there's a lot of Michael Jackson stuff in it.
Right.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the sound, I didn't not like it. Does that make sense? It was just more like, so I don't know if that counts as debug or not. I don't have a preference. How's that?
Okay.
Is there a middle ground for?
There is not, though. We're not
Okay,
allowed to
so we have to pick something. I
Yeah,
would say
so that's why I'm just
or
waffling.
not, guys.
I would say no. I would say a not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't stick to me. It felt a bit run of the mill. Didn't really stand out. Sorry, Michaela. I know this is your personal pick.
Yeah, and again, I come at it with like the emotional baggage of like waiting like 2 years for him to put out a solo. So like it's been a while. It's been a few years and a few survival programs and a few label changes, and so it was there's all this kind of like energy that was already in it for me before I ever heard the
so
song.
I think if you're a fan, I wouldn't see why you wouldn't think it's debug. Does that make sense? If you're like a new person, I don't know who he is, then I wasn't interested enough in it to find out more. How's that?
Oh, okay. All right. That's understandable. Okay, so we're a Daebak and two knots. Mm-hmm. Okay. So wrapping up our new music segment, are we Daebak or not on Ace's Effortless? Their new all English comeback after everybody's come back from military.
I did not have a chance to watch. I'm a bad K-pop guest.
No, it's okay. You can just be a meh on this one if you haven't heard it.
Like I saw it and I also forgot it.
Need some ginkgo biloba.
Dude, you guys, my brain is a sieve. But also it has to be like, I don't know whether it's because of like the TikTok generation. Mm-hmm. Now it either has to be like a earworm out the gate, you know? Like to this day, I don't know what the rest of the song Super Shy sounds like, but I sure as fuck know Super Shy, Super Shy.
Right.
Right. So I feel like if I'm just watching it, if I'm just listening to it once and it doesn't have something like that, I can't remember it. But if I hear it over and over again, then I might like it. If that makes sense, you know?
Yeah. And to be honest, I was really looking forward to this one again because as these are our favorite boys. Like we've given these guys awards on this podcast, and I was also kind of a not on this one. But as a song and as a comeback and as like something that again we were waiting for these guys to come back from the military, and we get this kind of like sad, dark. Oh, I really want to go talk to this girl, but I don't know if she likes me, but she's so awesome kind of song. And like it was not the energy that I was expecting from like a return. So it is a not for me, but it is, I feel like it's definitely like a more of a, if you're an Ace fan, you're just going to love to see them. And it does feel kind of like a song almost for the fans. Cause it's like, it's all in English, which is something that they're really known for. Like their English song covers are like, one of the things that really like promoted them, like grew their star even bigger back, before they went to the military. So the fact that they've come back and it's an all English song just definitely feels like they're just kind of like giving a gift to the fans. And I'm really excited to see what they do maybe in the next few months or maybe next year.
Wait, is Ace the group that had this like video where it was like a lot of subway tile, a lot of red, and then like, I want to say bathtub or something?
Yes, but then again, you could apply that to a lot of other boy
I know, but I swear to God, that song was fucking amazing in that video. And I was just like, dear Jesus. So is this the same Ace?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I
Okay,
was
so
distracted
we're all,
by that
we're
visual.
all not sadly on Ace's effort list, but I'm looking forward to what else they come back with now that they're back in the game, as it were.
That's good.
The title meets the song. Sorry.
It's okay. All right. So moving on to our hot issue news for this segment. So the headline first is Hybe and NBC mend fences after a 4-year-long conflict. Virginia, were you familiar with this?
I was.
Okay.
I guess the TLDR is that I think in 2019, dear Jesus, I'm so old. 2019, when BTS was going to perform I think Dick Clark New Year's Eve special, and they were supposed to be at the year-end special for NBC, but they obviously chose the other one. So NBC got mad. I think that's right, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so because of the multiple networks that do end of the year performance, they chose not to do NBC's in order to do something in the US.
Right, but they did offer to pre-record something, and NBC was like, "Fuck you, rude," and we don't ever want you back. And I was like, "Bet," and then NBC rued the day they did that, I guess, because of New Jeans, TXT, all these people, and they're like, and so there you go.
Yeah, the thing is, I can't believe I didn't even notice this, that none of the Hybe artists had been on Music Core since. Like,
but there's so many shows.
There are so many shows, but I was like, it was something that I was like, oh, I guess, NBC's, to be honest, I watch more Inkigayo, to be honest, and that's SBS, so they weren't even on my radar in the first place. But, hey, I'm Daebak on this for K-pop being less petty, I guess.
Well, and they also demanded better conditions, working conditions for everybody, not just their groups. So I feel that's Daebak.
Same. I don't really have a skin in this game other than, hey, the more K-pop for fans, the better.
And better conditions. That's better.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All
right. So our next headline is G-Dragon is breaking his silence over drug allegations, saying, "You guys are crazy. There's not. I haven't done drugs. I don't know drugs. Who is she? This. I can't wait to get this over with." Basically. So yeah.
Tests came back negative too.
Yeah, so they were like preliminary tests that were negative, but he was still like booked. But he wasn't detained. He was just like, somebody alleged that he had done drugs, so they had to do an investigation. And so he was like, okay, I'm gonna just be here because I want to do this right. But this is all false. Basically.
And then like netizens were mad at his attitude or something.
Yeah, I mean, there was once this broke. Originally, there was a bunch of like, smear stuff about like, oh, he's been acting strange. He must have been on drugs, and like,
oh my God, he's
again,
just weird.
when it comes to like Korean netizens and any celebrity that has any kind of drug scandal, like they get dragged immediately. Yeah, but I don't know. I guess.
Wait, how do we Daebak or not this?
I'm just a not on the whole thing because it feels again like somebody was just trying to come for a celebrity. In so far, again, everything is alleged and nothing has been proven. So we'll find out, I guess, after the investigation is over. But from his posturing and all of his interviews, it feels like this is just this is nothing.
Like a fishing expedition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then not.
And this isn't the first time they've tried to get him. So
yes, that's correct.
So
right?
I'm a not try again.
He did look good showing up to deny the charges and suit, the glasses. You look like somebody represent you in court. He looked awesome.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah, but if he tested negative, then yeah, keep him moving.
Okay, so I guess that's not.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is nothing. He's gonna be fine. Mm-hmm. All right. So next headline is B2B parts ways with Cube Entertainment after 11 years. So they tried to have discussions. Cube didn't give them what they wanted, and so they were like, "Okay, we'll just leave." So I guess I'm Daybok on this, but I guess this is a wrap for Cube, guys. Like, other than G Idol and Lightsum, like, I don't even know who else
like
is
they
left.
don't have anyone, right?
Like, Pentagon is like like leaving one by one as it is. So I don't know who else is there for
Do you
Cube.
think Pentagon leaves one by one? They'll all reunite with Dawn?
No, but that would
No.
be cool.
That would
I
be
don't know.
cool.
I don't know anything about this really, but I mean, then maybe Cube shouldn't suck and be a better company.
Right.
I mean, don't want to lose your artist. Don't suck. I don't know.
But it was just so interesting that B2B left. And like that, them leaving really, again, for one of their star people, especially in Korea, like the B2B is such a big group in Korea because like all of the individual members are so well known because of like all their, radio programs and variety shows and acting and everything. So them leaving is it's basically like BTS leaving HYBE.
Oh,
So it'll be really interesting to see how this goes in the future because as of right now they've chosen to again not side with Cube and are trying to look for other options. But there could be, again, because this is such a big loss for Cube, maybe they'll come back around and maybe figure something out. But as of right now, we'll see.
do you think they would actually lose face that way? Cube?
Cube?
Yeah, like because they would be like losing face. Like, don't you think?
Well, let's. If it doesn't get as messy as 50-50.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, Todd, are you Daybok or not on this?
I'm all for them kind of controlling their destiny and getting out from underneath a label that or a company that hasn't been serving them well, and they can go find their own path.
Yeah, I agree.
It tracks with especially what we've been seeing the past few years of like GOT7 leaving, Icon leaving, B2B leaving, all these like third gen mega groups, realizing their worth and going other places. So again,
Good for them, I think.
Daybok, love to see it.
Yes.
Was it the? We'll check back in the end of the year to see if Cube's still around.
They haven't folded.
Yeah. So the last headline for today before we wrapped up this episode, we are going to be talking about 50-50 updates. So the latest update in the 50-50 mess is that the Givers CEO, so the producers for 50-50, are suing 50-50's company A-Tract for defamation.
Do people just have nothing but like money?
Litigious money.
Yeah.
Ugh. What a mess. What a mess. I'm really not for this one.
Yeah, just a knot on all of it. I just wanted to stop at this point.
No good.
I know we talked about like HYBE ending pettiness in K-pop, but it's not.
Well, I mean,
it's still alive and well in this 50-50 mess.
well, HYBE can afford to. They're the top dog.
True.
Yeah, no.
You're not.
Not,
Would you?
yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know. For one, I think we've been talking about this on Slack. Like everything is very confusing. Like
Yes.
it's we're not exaggerating when we call it a mess. It's like people coming out and being like, oh, they tried to poach us, and like, oh, actually they were gaslighting us, and like, oh, we one girl apologizes and is able to like to stay in the group, and the other three girls, because they didn't apologize, are now still just kicked out forever. Like it's a lot,
Yeah. And they're so young.
right?
That sucks.
So we'll check back in, I guess, with 50-50 because allegedly they're gonna re-debut at the end of the year with new lineup,
Oh,
three new
gosh.
girls. So
It's like, why
we'll
wouldn't
see.
you just have a new group?
Because of the the brand, the 50-50.
Oh, because of the Barbie movie, right?
Yeah, like
Well, if it's only three members or three new members, they should call it 30-70.
The 75%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think that wraps us up there.
That was amazing, Todd.
Thank you guys for joining us this week. Please, in closing, let our listeners know where they can find you on socials. Virginia?
Oh, yes. You can find me on Twitter. I refuse to call it by its dumb name. Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, whatever the fuck. It's at the Mandarin Mama.
Todd?
Oh, just check me out on the K-Popcast Slack. I'm not going to put my socials out there right now.
Got it.
It's just too fraught. But yeah, I'm in a safe space up in the K-Popcast Slack.
And you can find me at Michaela J K-pop on all the things, and you can find all of us at the K-pop Cast on all the things and our Slack channel. All links in the episode description. Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
See you.
Touch your toes, don't against the wall. Do your dance, I'm done, take it off. Lose your breath, go ahead.